Hey everyone, welcome to my home. Even though it looks like we're sitting on the end of my dock, I got a new computer and I figured out how to use backgrounds. And man, I've taken hundreds of pictures of the sunset off the end of my dock, and I uploaded a few of them and thought I'd try that out. I spent a lot of time sitting there watching sunsets. I've had the place for many, many years. I think this is my 28th year we're going into here. A couple months it'll be 28 years since I bought that place at the lake. So, oh man, I can't even think of how many steak dinners we had out there. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. I'm just gonna do a year in review here. What I've been up to for the past year. Um, it's mostly not going to be game related. There's going to be some stuff, but if you're not interested in that personal stuff, then that's no problem. I understand. Lots of videos to watch, so just go ahead. For the rest of you that want to stick around, thanks for joining me. Anyway, a lot has happened this year, boy. Like it's been a very consequential year for me, and I guess that's probably why I haven't got very many videos done, more than anything really, because there's so much has happened to me this year. I started out this year um, coming to the realization that I was going to have to retire. I've been off work for 4 years now, but at the time, like at the start of the year, it was just over 3 years, and it was a medical problem, not something that is killing me or anything, but something that was preventing me for sure from doing my job. The job that I do is pretty dangerous, and this has a thing to do with balance. Like it's a dizziness thing, and that's not something that you could do in the positions that I was in, that I got myself into every day. And like I hung on for 3 years thinking that maybe it could get better or something, and it just didn't. And so I had a long talk with my doctor, and you know um, you know just came to the decision that we were just going to pull the plug on it, and I was going to retire. So it was actually quite a bit of a relief for me, because when you're off for a long time like that, you start to uh, get nervous at the thought of going back. I've been doing that job for 42 years at the beginning of this year, and I was sick of it. The repetitive nature of the work, and it was good money and it was a good living and everything. But man, I mean, you do anything for 42 years, you're going to get tired of it, and I certainly did. And there were still aspects of the job that I really liked, but that was most of my time was filled doing the actual physical work that I wasn't a big fan of. Plus, I'm getting older, and I remember when I was young, when I was in my 20s, and I'd see these old guys or old women that worked there, and they seemed their bodies were breaking down on them, and I thought you should have taken better care of yourself. you know and then you get there and you realize, oh, okay, I get it now. Think of this motion here, flipping a board over. That's what I did. I worked in a sawmill. You think, okay, well, that seems pretty easy. Now try to do that 40,000 times in the next 8 hours, and then come back and do it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and then next week, and next month, and try that for 8 years in a row, and see what that does to the muscles that you use to do that with. Even though it's not hard to do, the fact that you're doing it tens of thousands and eventually millions of times, that's how your body breaks down. And that's just one of the things that I did over the years. Like another job, it would be a different part of my body that I was moving over and over and over again. So I retired, and I thought that was, I was pretty happy about that. And then summertime came, and I guess the biggest thing that happened in the summer was the Sky Marshall Cup, and that was a lot of fun. Um, if you've never made it up here for that, you really got to try someday if you're a Global War 36 player, because it is the premier event every year. We get nothing but the best players coming in, and competition is really high. And it's not that people are mean to each other, though. Like it's all one big camaraderie, and we have fun and we eat good, and just a first rate venue, and two tables that like my pieces on one table, and Sky Marshall's on another, and like our boards are just beautiful, right? So I mean, you get you treated well when you get here, and but everybody's really good, and everybody wants to win. I mean, there's a big trophy, and there's medals, and there's prizes and everything. And even though everybody gets a prize, the people who win get to pick first, right? So by the time you pick, then a lot of the good stuff might have been gone. But you don't really do it for the prizes, though. You do it for the competition, and it's really difficult, because I think most people play Global War 36 or 14 on YouTube or some other form like that, where you pick it up and then you put it down, and then you pick it up and then you put it down. Like you're only playing for a few minutes, or an hour or two, or even an evening at a time. But I tell you, when you come here, or to any other event, it's 3 days of being away from home, and eating not your own food. You're not like you're eating big meals, and they're good and everything, but they're still restaurant food, and you're not sleeping in your own bed. And of course, you're a little stressed, because there's a lot to think about when you're doing this, and it's not just a test of your skill in playing the game. It's also a test of endurance, because I tell you, like after the second day, your brain is just fried, and then you got to show up the third day, and try to finish this thing off, and people make mistakes. I do. Everybody does. Just because you're tired and everything, and nobody's gonna feel sorry for you, because we're all in the same boat, and we're waiting for you to make a mistake, and you're waiting for me to make a mistake, and the people that play here are the kind of people that can take advantage of those mistakes. And so, you know, um, you got to have your A game when you come here. That's all I could say. But anyway, it was a lot of fun, just like it is every year. And Sky Marshall moved to a new house, and the venue's even better. And it's out in the country, um, and the really cool thing for me was that my friend Bob came up here. He's the guy that we developed the 1914 game together, or at least the last few years of the 1914 game. It was started by others before us, but we took over. He did, and then I joined him, and so I got to know him really well over the years. And I've only met him once in person, and that was years ago, down in Tulsa. So it was really, really nice to have him come up here to my house, and I could show him my war room, and take him all around town. I took him out to the lake, and he brought his friend Tim, his neighbor, and I got to know Tim pretty well too, because Tim was helping us out a lot with the play testing, and like bouncing ideas off him, and he came up with a lot of the stuff for the 14 game. So I talked to him lots of times, even without Bob around. I talked to him on the phone, and played games with him on YouTube and stuff. And so it was really nice to meet him in person for the first time. And those guys stayed at my place, and that was a real treat for me to have them come up and hang out like that and play games. And I actually won my table this year, me and my partner, and he's a really good player, and I'm not bad, but he's even better than me. And he's a guy from Seattle, and yeah, like we did really well. But the people on the other table that won that table, I think they were a point or two above us, and so we came in second place in the event. Anyway, that was pretty good though. I was pretty happy with that. At least we'd won the war on our table, and I think that's the first time at this event that's happened. A lot has to go right for you to win, or even to do well. You could play really well, and just bad luck, or just the way the other players are playing and what their goals are. I mean, you don't have control over everything that happens on the board, right? But luckily, I was paired with Joel, and like I said, he's a really good player, like everybody who comes here is, and it was great to see everybody again. Tim was the only one that I hadn't met in person. Everybody else that came here has been here before, except for Bob, of course, but I'd already met him. So we had a great time this year, and that was probably the highlight of my year, because then things started going south for me. Like I said, it was a really consequential year. A few weeks after that, like that's in July, and then in August, I was hospitalized for a week. I had a really bad infection, kind of thing that you would have died from 50 years ago, but with medical breakthroughs the way they are now, it was just a matter of being bored in the hospital and eating the worst food possible for a week, while they pump you full of drugs and IVs and everything, and it sucked and everything. But luckily, I live in a country where it's possible that like you get taken good care of, and of course it didn't cost me or anything, like I do pay taxes and everything, but I was going to pay those anyway, right? So but like it didn't cost me a penny more than me paying my taxes, and so that's really fortunate to be here. And then after I got out, I still had to go to the hospital every day to get IV therapy, and it was my leg that I had the infection in, so I had to stay off it. Like I had to have it elevated and everything. So it's pretty boring, keeping it elevated, and when you get my age too, you need to exercise constantly, or you seize up, and I couldn't do anything for about 2 months, I guess, close to that, and so that really sucked. But I recovered, and that's good, and so then we moved into the fall, and my mom hasn't been well for years now. She's my biggest fan on YouTube. She watches all my videos, and she seemed to have a knack of phoning me every time I was making a video. Like I'd get an hour deep into it and hadn't taken a break or anything in the video, and then my phone would ring, and then I'd have to start it all over again, and it would be my fault, because I just know you're supposed to put it in airplane mode or turn the ringer off or something, right? One of those things, and it was my fault when I'd forget, but she seemed to have a knack for calling me whenever I was making a video, and anyway, her condition really deteriorated this fall, and anyway, she passed away about 3 weeks ago. I guess it'd be 3 weeks ago this Friday, which was sad, but at the same time, was she was suffering pretty good, and it's just old, right? And she had to have oxygen, like she had to cart a tank around with her, or like she hardly ever left the house anyway, the last year or so. So she had a machine in her house that is called a concentrator, and that gives you oxygen. But I spent a lot of time with her, because I'm not working, and somebody needed to take care of her, and so I'd go out and get her everything that she needed, groceries, or and the few times she did go out, it was usually just to get to doctor's appointments or to get tests done, and so I'd pick her up for those and everything. But yeah, like she went into the hospital on Friday a few weeks ago, and by Tuesday she was in hospice house here in Prince George, and then a few days later, Friday, she passed away Friday morning. So my dad passed away a few years ago, so that's just it's just the age that I'm at. I have friends that are my age as well, and we're all going through that kind of thing where we're losing parents or we're taking care of parents, and it's just another stage of life that we all go through. We all meet the same end, and we all seem to go through the stages, like where you're a kid, and then like you're finishing school, and you're having your own kids, and you get through middle age, and then you get to this age where you're taking care of your parents and eventually saying goodbye to them, and it's tough, but it's like you can't feel too bad for yourself because it's something, like I said, that we all go through, and you just have to live with it, right? And just do the best that you can. And now I'm the one, like I'm the executor of the will, so I'm taking care of her everything, right? Like just getting everything done, tying everything up. But I've got it all done now except for the taxes, and you don't do that till the regular tax time, which is a couple months into the new year. Like March or April, you get the taxes done. So I don't have anything else to do until then, and it was a pretty simple one because she wasn't driving anymore and didn't have real estate or anything. So it was pretty easy to take care of all that. It's weird though, because when my phone rang, half the time it was my mom and half the time it was the rest of the world. It was somebody else, right? And so now when my phone rings, even now a few weeks later, I say, "Oh, my mom. Oh, I guess it's not mom." And then I get up. Oh, I guess I gotta. Oh, I guess I don't gotta. Because every day I get up, I wondering, okay, what do I gotta take care of today for mom? And that just isn't the case anymore. So anyway, so moving on here. I just noticed the other day that I had passed 4,000 subscribers. I hadn't even looked at my YouTube channel in quite a while. Like I get notifications that every once in a while that somebody's commented on something, but I don't really pay too much attention to it. Like I said, this year has been pretty busy for me. I'm just giving you the highlights. There's been lots that happened, but anyway, so I'm over 4,000 subscribers now, and that's pretty incredible. And I'm really thankful, as I've said before, at these moments to all the people that watch my videos and that support me. And hopefully I'll get back to making more videos again now that some of these things have been wrapped up and taken care of. Hopefully I'll have a better year next year, and I actually I've gotten a new camera and a little bit of other equipment to make videos. You'll see when I make them. It's going to be kind of cool, but like I just, okay, I'm going to make a video, and then mom gets in the hospital, and it just seems like one thing after another, and now we're getting into the Christmas season. I'm going to try to make a video or two coming up. I know I'm going to have to make another one because whenever I pass a milestone like that, that means that we're having a contest. So it's going to be much like the other ones, where you're going to have to comment in the comment section on this video. You have to comment something very specific, and if you do, then you will be entered in the contest. So let me just get into the prize first. I was looking on HBG's website there, and I thought, it's hard to pick something because HBG has been around for quite a while now, and they got so many products that a lot of us have a lot of the stuff that they have. We don't have everything, but it's hard to pick something that maybe you don't have, right? So I was talking with Doug this morning, and he's going to come up with a $50 gift certificate for whoever wins the contest. So you'll just, if you win, then I'll just give him your name, and then you can go ahead and make an order. You can make it for just $50, or you can make it for more than that. It's up to you. And he will will just credit your account that $50. Like, you don't have to wait for a card to get to you in the mail or anything like that. He'll just credit your account. So that means that you do have to have an account at HBG, especially with him giving out this prize for me. Like, it's only fair that that you're a customer of his and that you have an account and that you've ordered there before. I call it the pew pew store. Pew 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 with your little army men. So there, you do have to be a customer of HBG and have an account there, and also you have to be subscribed to my channel. We don't want just somebody come along and just happen to come across this video tonight or tomorrow and then win the prize when you've been following me for 6-7 years and been a customer of HBG forever, and and they just show up and take away the prize. So you have to be a subscriber of mine, and you have to have an account at HBG. And let me see. So I'm going to get you to answer a question for me in the comment section, and it's very specific. And the question is, what's that smell? Wrong answers only, okay? That's the only question, is what's that smell? So make something up. It smells like, I don't want to say anything, but you can say whatever you want. It's up to you. And but again, like I've done before, it is, I don't say I want to win the contest and so this is the answer to that question, because people are going to read that, and then you're going to have more competition for trying to win that prize. So don't say anything in the comment section other than like if you want to wish me well or something, that's one thing, but don't say anything about the contest. Just tell me what that smell is. I really want to know, what is that smell? So just tell me that, and then we'll make a video in a few days. I don't know when, but maybe I'll get the hand grenade girls involved. Maybe we'll have a little battle or whatever. We'll figure out a way to give away the prize. But anyway, it's a good prize, and we'll give that away. And speaking of crediting accounts and everything, it is that time of year. Like, if you don't know what to get somebody for Christmas, like your son or daughter or somebody that plays board games, especially these kind of board games, or maybe somebody from your gaming group, Historical Board Game has gift certificates. I think they're like $20 to $100, and there's all the different things in between, right? So think about that. Like, if you don't know what to get somebody, or if you're some significant other, or somebody that is asking you what you want and you can't think of anything, and you don't need a frickin' pair of socks because you got enough of them, then just tell them HBG gift certificate. Get them to send you one of those things, or you buy one and send them to somebody else. Those are a great idea this time of year. I've done videos in the past, other years, with ideas on what to get people, but like I said, there's nothing like a store credit or a gift certificate, and let the person, let their fingers do the walking and pick what they want, or pick what you want if you're the one receiving it. So I think that's a great idea for Christmas presents coming up this year. Anyway, what's next? Oh, my computer crapped out on me. I had a big 27-inch iMac, and oh my God, somebody just picked it up here like an hour ago. He was the kid that worked at the computer store. You can trade in a Mac computer if it's in good shape, right? And it said that I could get $170 for it, which seemed ridiculous to me because I paid like just about $3,000 for that thing years ago. But anyway, $170, and this was the only store in town you could do that, or you could mail it into Apple, right? They'd send you a package, and you stick your computer in there and you mail it off to them. Because we don't have an Apple store here, but this is Best Buy, right? The one store in town that does this. And anyway, I was telling the kid that, you know, like I call him a kid, but he's in his 20s or something. Anyway, I was telling him, yeah, I checked online and it was $170, and you know, and I need a new computer, and he goes, "I'll give you $200 for it." Deal. So anyway, he just came over here with $200. Look at that, Canadian money. See that? Our 50s are, what are they, red or pink or something? If you're not Canadian, there you go. Our money is all kinds of different colors, and it's got the transparent thing in there. You know, you can see through it. Anyway, um, so I got $200 burning a hole in my pocket now, and I've already got everybody's Christmas presents. But yeah, what a production though. Like my old computer there was 1 terabyte, and this new one that I'm talking to you in here is only 256 megabytes, or sorry, gigabytes for storage. It seems like Apple is getting away with getting away from these big storage computers, and kind of forcing people to go out and get an external SSD, like a solid state drive, and that's what I've done, but it hasn't come in yet. But anyway, I thought this would be a good time to clean up my old, you know, get rid of some of these files that I had. And oh my god, like usually when I make a video, I delete it afterwards. Like after it's up on YouTube, then I delete it, right? I don't need it anymore. Like for a while there, I was keeping them, and I don't know why. So I deleted them all, and I've been deleting them for years. And I thought they were all gone because I deleted them, right? But then, you know, like when I looked at my computer and I had 700 and something gigabytes worth of crap on there, and what the hell? So then, you know, like I find the place where you look and it shows you your biggest files first, right? Because those are the ones you might want to get rid of. And there was hundreds and hundreds of videos on there, like 300 and something gigabytes worth of videos. And what the hell are these doing here? And I looked, and yeah, those are, you know, my old Access and Allies videos, or whatever, you know, like all the videos I made over the years. For some reason, it was storing in another location as well, and so no wonder my computer was so slow, right? Anyway, I deleted those, and um, it still had way too much crap to fit on this new computer. So I needed to get rid of more, and I decided what I was going to do is I had like 13,000 songs or something. I know people don't really do iTunes anymore, and keep music like that. You just get a streaming service, and I have one now too and everything. But I didn't want to delete all those songs, so I'm gonna put them on my new 2 terabyte drive. It hasn't arrived yet. It's in the mail right now. Anyway, trying to delete all those songs on that computer just wasn't like it's getting a workout this week. So I deleted that, and while I was doing that, I found another 40 something gigabytes of videos in a different location. Like, what the hell? Where did I find all this time to make these stupid videos, right? Anyway, so by the time I got all this shit deleted off there, and I got it down below 250 gigabytes, I think I'm down to 230 now. And man, the computer works great now. It just flies along like this. If before, you know, like I had to keep the internet turned on, like when my computer was asleep, I had to keep one window open. Otherwise, it would take like 10-15 minutes just to click on the internet and finally be able to to scroll around on the internet. It took like 10-15 minutes, right? But it was only 3 or 4 minutes if I left a window open. Anyway, now it works just fine. So this kid got himself a good computer, but I'm not too sad about that because this is a really nice one, and it's got a different kind of chip in it and everything. It's an M4, not an Intel anymore, and I tell you, it's just beautiful. I really like it. It's going to be a different way of having to do it now, though, because I'm going to be storing everything on the SSD external drive. So I'm just going to have to get rid of, or get used to doing things differently now than I ever did. And man, I'm going to have to really watch what I do too. But I tell you, I learned a lot over the last week or so that I've been doing this, watching lots of videos and Googling and reading lots of stuff. I probably know twice as much about Mac computers right now as I'd learned in the previous 10 years. You know, I doubled my knowledge in them. So that's a good thing. Um, and I've still got more to learn when I go to fill up the SSD and learn how to do things differently. But it's a challenge and it's something that I'm ready for. And I've got all my Christmas shopping done, so I don't have to do anything like that. I got to make that video, hopefully with my granddaughters, to give away a prize. But and make a couple more videos, hopefully by before the end of the year, and then start again next year. Hopefully, I get more done next year. I have been working on a project with Doug at Historical Board Gaming. It's a game, and like he's got lots of games that have come out this year. Smaller games than Global War 36 or 14, and also one big game. Global War 85 came out this year, and man, those guys did a great job, especially Chris. Just an awesome job, and I've talked to a couple people that have played it, and they think it's the best one yet. Like they think it's better than 36 or 14. I haven't played it. I don't know that I will be getting it right away because um, my war room is pretty small, and I don't know that I have room to fit everything else in there. Like those games are huge if you play them, and you know, like you've collected everything that you can collect for a game, like I do. It takes up space, and plus it's a lot to learn to learn one of these games. In that game, I've watched some stuff on YouTube and watching them play, and it's much different than the other games. The other games are kind of similar to each other, but this game is different than those ones, and so it looks like pretty steep learning curve. And given the fact that I have this other project going on right now, I don't know that I'm going to have time or space for that game, although it looks great and I'd like to get into it. But aside from that, I mean, there's a Stalingrad game coming out soon, and what came out, Curse came out. That's a really a good game. I put together the pieces for that. We gave that prize away at the Sky Marshal Cup. That looks like a great game. And of course, we got Midway and the Normandy game, the D-Day game. That looks really, really good. It's a big full-size map, and it's a map of Normandy, and you got all the beaches on there. And Hilltop Pillbox was the lead designer on that. It looks great. I tell you, things are really ramped up with historical board gaming since Doug retired from his other job a few years ago. He's had much more time, not just to sell people pieces and markers and stuff, but to organize the rest of us. There was a time when it was pretty loose organization, just a bunch of enthusiasts really, and he's got everything working pretty well now. He's got this guy working on this and this guy working on that, and like everybody's doing their own certain games. 39 Ultra came out this year, I think. Yeah, I think it was this year, yeah. And I'm probably missing a few. The Roman game came out this year. That was Johnny Galvez that did that. I can't remember, but there's been a few more games too. So lots of games coming out, and I'm not going to tell you the game that I'm working on, but I think you'll be pretty excited about it when you find out down the road what it is. I'm just at the very beginning stages of it though. Like Doug and I have been talking about it for a couple of years. I've never done a game myself though. And like I've been a part of a lot of different games. Like just about every designer that they've got, not all of them, but just about all of them, have contacted me at one time or another to say, hey, can you go through the rule set and make recommendations, or asking me questions. So I consulted on just about every game they have, and I was a big part of the 14 game, a fairly big part of the 36 game years ago. Um, but nowhere close to the inner circle. But I had a lot of input on that 36 game early on, and like right around version 2 to the end of version 3. And so I've done a lot of that, but I haven't done a game of my own yet. And so I'll be the lead designer on that, and maybe even the only one. I don't know. Like, I'll probably elicit the help of others when the time comes. But Doug is really excited about it. He always wanted to do this game, and I always wanted to do this game, and so we've been talking about it for years. And I've got some ideas in mind that I always thought would be great for these other games, and just like it's not your game, so it's not your call, but this is going to be an opportunity to try these things, and to get them in from the ground floor, like some of the things that I want to do. You'll see when the time comes, but it's hard to add things later to a game that's already been started. Like, I always thought, this would make a great expansion set, but this idea here. But again, like, you're kind of screwing the game when you put something like that in there, because when you develop it from scratch, then by the time you put it out, it's balanced, and then anything that you do to it after that, you have to really be careful, or you're going to unbalance it. And so I'll be able to put those ideas in from the beginning, and try to make them work. And if they don't, then I'll let them go, and just develop the game in a different direction. But it's gonna be a neat game. It's probably gonna make it a 3x6 map. Like, I could do 4x8, but I don't know that I need that much space. But it's going to be fairly big. It's not going to be a tiny little game, and it's going to be World War II themed. So I'm looking forward to that, and I've already started trying to pick out maps and stuff, and just like doing research. What are the troop strengths and things like that. For the time period, and the location, and things like that. So looking forward to that, and for that reason, I don't think that I can get into another big game at this time, collecting all the pieces and learning, because it's a lot. And also, work is ongoing for the 14 game. Bob and I have actually started talking a lot lately, and he's pretty excited about that. He's sending me a couple of emails. Sorry, Bob, I haven't got back to you on that, but as you might have heard from this video, if you watched it, I've been pretty busy, and I know that you know that already. So some other things going on, but yeah, we've talked a lot about what to do with the next iteration of the 14 game. Like, we were looking at expansion sets, and then we said, well, look, if these are going to be expansion sets, and we haven't done the next version of the game yet, what do you think about putting these things into the game? Like, not an expansion set, but like part of the new rule set. And so that's something that we're going to look at. And yeah, like some new pieces, and new rules. Yeah, and I think that's coming along good. And it's not something that's gonna be really, really difficult, that it's not gonna allow me to do this other game as well. And Bob's constantly working on other games. He's doing one now, and he finished one earlier this year. What was it, the 46 game he did? He also did Kursk, and he did updating on expansion sets, and on other games and everything too. So he's always busy. Anyway, that's I think that's about all I got here for you. I'm just going to finish this year off, and get through the holiday season, and get back at it again next year. So thanks for joining me. If you stuck with me this long in this video, I know I tend to ramble a lot. People have been joking about that on my videos for years. Whoa, another 2 hour general hand grenade video. Deal with it. Anyway, so before I go though, let me just wish you all a very Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or whatever it is you celebrate. We're going into the holiday season. I know it's going to be fun here. We're going to be missing Mom, but and Grandma, but like I'm really looking forward to it. Um, love hanging out with my granddaughters. You've seen Callie for years on videos. Well, last weekend I was busy all last weekend. She had a volleyball tournament. It was the end of the year, and her team won the city championship. You know, there was tons of teams there, and man, I listening to a bunch of 12-year-old girls scream that loud in that shrill high voice. uh, it took me a couple days before I could hear again, but it was pretty cool watching her and her friends win that. So anyway, I'm looking forward to her and her little sister this Christmas, and I know what they're getting, and it's pretty exciting. So I can't wait to see them open it, and I love Christmas anyway. So you know it's going to be cool. But anyway, thanks for joining me, and don't forget about that question that I'd asked you. And don't forget, don't tell everybody what you're writing. Just write it. Anyway, so thanks a lot, and thanks for again for subscribing and for watching all my videos all these years. And my apologies for not getting many done this year, but you know, like now you know why, and hopefully we'll get back into the swing of things. So anyway, take care, everyone. General Hand Grenade out.